This Bible verse will find you when you need it most. In the book of Psalms, there is a cry that feels deeply human. Lord, how long will you forget me? How long will you hide your face from me? Sometimes life feels unbearably heavy. You try, you pray, but nothing seems to change, and you find yourself asking quietly, is God even hearing me? You're not the first to feel this way, and you won't be the last. There are seasons when heaven feels closed, when your words seem to hit the ceiling and fall back down, when you open your Bible and the words blur together, when worship songs play in the background, but they don't reach inside you anymore. You scroll through social media and see other people posting about their breakthrough, their answered prayers, their miracles, and you wonder what you're doing wrong. If maybe you're not praying hard enough, not believing hard enough, not faithful enough, and the silence grows heavier. Because silence, when you're hurting, feels like absence. It feels like abandonment. It feels like you've been left behind while everyone else seems to hear from God so clearly. You start questioning everything, your faith, your prayers, even your worth. But here's what I want you to know. Silence doesn't mean God has left. It doesn't mean he's angry with you. It doesn't even mean you're doing something wrong. Sometimes, God is closer in the silence than he ever was in the noise. Sometimes, the quiet is where he's doing his deepest work. Not because he's distant, but because he's near, in a way you haven't learned to recognize yet. The silence isn't punishment. It's not a sign that you've failed. It's often the sacred space where transformation happens. There's a moment in the Gospel of John, the 11th chapter, that might surprise you. Jesus hears that his friend Lazarus is dying. The people around him expect him to rush, to hurry, to fix it immediately. But he doesn't. He waits 2 more days, and Lazarus dies. When Jesus finally arrives, Martha meets him with pain in her voice. She says, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." She doesn't say it with anger. She says it with confusion, with heartbreak, because she believed. She prayed, she trusted, and still, Jesus didn't come when she thought he should. Still, her brother died. Does that sound familiar? Maybe you've prayed for healing, and the diagnosis didn't change. Maybe you've prayed for a relationship to be restored, and it only fell apart more. Maybe you've asked God to open a door, and it slammed shut in your face. Maybe you've begged him to take away the pain, and it's still there every morning when you wake up, and you're left standing there, wondering why he didn't show up the way you needed him to, why he didn't answer the way you asked. It's okay to feel that. It's okay to bring that pain to him. He can handle your honest questions. He can handle your doubt. If you felt this too, maybe subscribe to this channel so we can walk this road together. Here's the part of the story we often miss. Jesus wasn't absent. He was intentional. He waited, not because he didn't care, but because he had something greater in mind. Something that would reveal his glory in a way no one expected. And when he finally stood at the tomb of Lazarus, he called him out, and the dead man walked. Not because Jesus was early, not because Jesus was late, but because Jesus was exactly on time. His time, not ours. And the miracle that came from the waiting was greater than anything they could have imagined. Now, I'm not saying God will always give you the miracle you're asking for. I'm not promising that everything will turn around the way you hope. That would be dishonest. And you deserve better than empty promises. But I am saying this. God sees you. He knows your name. He knows the weight you're carrying right now, the burden that no one else fully understands, the grief you carry in private, the fear that wakes you up at 3 in the morning, and he has not forgotten you, even when it feels like he has, even when every sign points to silence, he is still there. In the Gospel of Matthew, the 26th chapter, Jesus is in the Garden of Gethsemane. He's about to face the cross, and he prays. He asks the Father if there's another way. He prays so hard that his sweat becomes like drops of blood. This is Jesus, the Son of God, and he's asking for another path. And heaven is silent. No voice from the sky, no angel with an answer, just silence. And yet, Jesus moves forward, not because he heard a voice, but because he trusted the heart of the Father. Even in the silence, even in the pain, he trusted. And maybe that's where you are right now. You're not hearing God's voice the way you used to. You're not feeling his presence the way you once did. The joy you had before feels like a distant memory, but you're still here. You're still seeking. You're still holding on, even if it's just barely, even if your faith feels like a thread about to break. And that, my friend, is faith. Faith isn't always loud. It isn't always certain. Sometimes, faith is just showing up. It's opening your Bible, even when the words feel empty. It's whispering a prayer, even when you don't know if it's heard. It's choosing to believe, not because you feel it, but because deep down, you know he's worth trusting. The book of Psalms is full of these raw, honest prayers. David cried out to God more times than we can count. He questioned, he complained, he asked God where he was. He accused God of hiding, of forgetting. And yet, almost every time, something shifts by the end of the psalm. Not because his circumstances changed, but because he remembered who God is. He remembered what God had done before. The times God showed up, the times God rescued him, the times God proved faithful when everything seemed hopeless. And he chose to wait, to trust, to hope again. Not because the waiting was easy, not because he had all the answers, but because he knew God's character. He knew God's heart, and that was enough to keep going. That's the invitation for you today. Not to pretend everything is fine, not to fake a smile and say you're blessed when you're barely holding on, but to bring your brokenness to Jesus, to let him see the mess, to let him into the waiting, to stop trying to clean yourself up before you approach him, because he doesn't need you to have it all together. He just needs you to come, as you are, right now, in this moment, with all your doubts, with all your questions. There's a verse in the Gospel of John, the 10th chapter, where Jesus says, "I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep, and my sheep know me." He doesn't say he knows about you. He says he knows you, personally, intimately, completely. He knows what keeps you awake at night. He knows the questions you're too afraid to say out loud. He knows the pain you've buried so deep you've almost forgotten it's there. He knows the shame you carry, the regret that haunts you, the disappointment you hide from everyone else. And he's not shocked by any of it. He's not disappointed. He's not pulling away. He's not reconsidering. His love for you, he's drawing closer. He's leaning in. He's saying your name with tenderness. Maybe the verse that found you today isn't just about feeling forgotten. Maybe it's about realizing you never were. Maybe it's about discovering that the God you thought was distant has been walking beside you all along, waiting for you to notice, waiting for you to reach out, not because he needs you to earn his love, but because he wants you to receive it freely, fully, without condition. So if you're in a season of waiting, know this: you're not waiting alone. Jesus is with you in it, not standing far off, watching, but sitting right there in the dirt with you, in the grief, in the confusion, in the unanswered questions. He's there. And one day, when you look back, you might just see that this season, this painful, quiet, heavy season, was where he met you in the deepest way, not with answers, but with his presence. And sometimes, that's the greatest gift of all. If this spoke to your heart, like the video and leave a comment. And if you want to help spread Jesus, subscribe to the channel and help us grow.